Inside the Hall of Famer, James Smitty Smith, inside the majestic Marina Terra Event Center. Dominguez in the red, Lara in the black with silver.
Look for Dominguez to try to throw the left hook off of the jab. He led with it and then came back with a couple of jabs. As you can see, he's already getting in a position to try to throw that left hook. He throws it well to the body or the head. Has a decent right hand as well. Power in both hands. Better head movement there.
No! Box.
Dominguez, 23-0, we mentioned, 18 knockouts. He has that power, and you know it's great to see him fighting here in San Carlos. He's a native of Sonora State, fighting out of Ciudad Obregón, and you got to believe that the fans were in here, Smitty, they would be coming alive for their native son. A lot of people excited about him, but of course, you know, you can almost hear a pin drop here as our main event is starting in a building with no crowd.
Right hand over the top by Dominguez. Lara trying some foot feints, trying to establish some distance. Needs to let that jab go a little bit more, or he leads with a right hand. One mistake I saw Lara make, it didn't cost him yet, but when he went back, he went straight back. That's a mistake, and he put his chin up in the air, and that can be a deadly situation against a puncher like Dominguez. It's a good 1-2 by Summer. It didn't land solidly, but I like the way he threw it. Very compact, very straight. Nice left hook by Lara there.
Two men fighting into the clinch. Quick break. Lara knows that he is the underdog here, fighting Dominguez. And is it easier for him to come into a place like this where he's the underdog without the crowd?
Fine.
See if this is the night of low blows,
I guess, huh? And again, obviously this one early, so just a warning. But, you know, we've seen it earlier. And I know that, you know, the referee is different. It's a different fight. You can't do makeup calls. But, you know, obviously everyone in the building knows that we've seen low blows. So does this change the tone of how they're going to be handled in future fights on the card? Or is this... You know, do you believe that the referee can isolate themselves from the previous situation and make the right call here?
One thing that I want to point out is this guy is doing, Lara did a better job than the other. He took some time, and he's a veteran, and especially against a big, you know, puncher like Dominguez, those low blows will stay with you a few minutes, and then it's one of those amazing things. It's almost like a solar plexus punch,
right.
That unless you sustain an injury, 2 or 3 minutes later, it's like it never happened.
Right.
So that's one good thing about it. I think hopefully the referee will just judge each instance as it comes. In terms of the fans and the situation, you know, I don't think with no fans and this kind of a year. Now there's a punch. That is the most dangerous punch you can throw in boxing.
Right.
A rapid punch.
Yep. And there really can be no tolerance for those types of strikes.
In every timeout, and I know they've told me in the past they're trying to get him a little bit more proficient defensively, and for him it's just about seasoning. But you know, at 29 years of age, which is so young, I'd like to be 29 knowing what I know now. But in that welterweight division, there's not a lot of time. So that's why I kept stressing the point that he really has to improve. When you're talking about the welterweight division, you know, with guys like Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, we just saw Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao, and the guy I have is the best fighter in the world, Bud Crawford. You know, you're kind of around all of their ages, so you don't have a lot of time to season, so you really have to make the most of each opportunity, and this is his 4th opportunity for Summer this year, which is really of this year, so that's really a good, in a pandemic year, that's
no kidding,
really good. So Terry Holland, his manager, and you know, and Guy Taylor, RJJ Boxing, done a good job of, and he's been very fortunate. So he should have an attitude of gratitude that he's had the ability to have all these fights. Nice combination there by Lara. Not a lot on it, but it gives Dominguez something to think about.
When you look at Dominguez, you talk about, the future being bright for him. How important is a statement, victory here, something with style points and, going forward with an effort to get one of those big fights? Does he need a statement win?
Yeah, people are watching Dominguez. People have asked me about him. And so networks or just people are watching him. The boxing world is watching him. So and is he entertaining? Is he a guy that is entertaining and you want to see, is he must-see TV? So that's why it doesn't always have to be the knockout. Knockouts sell a lot of tickets, but it's just being very fan-friendly, if you will. And he is that type. He is that type of a fighter. I like what Lara's doing. He's not throwing a lot of hard shots, not committing to anything, which is going to help him in terms of getting into the latter stages if he continues to do that. Still, he's got to be leery of that left hook. I've seen some opportunities for Summer to land the left hook.
Dominguez complaining about another shot to the back of the head.
It's a nice combination by Lara. He's picking his shots well and showing me some veteran vision, the way he sees what he's trying to throw at and accomplishing it. And sometimes I think he's not even trying to land. He's just trying to set up other stuff and keep Dominguez thinking, keep him guessing. Sometimes your best defense is to have some offense. See what I mean about a jab? Doesn't have to be much, but just gives your opponent something to think about. Can set up stuff.
You call it the can opener. It can definitely open up a lot of combinations and strikes later down the road. And 2 rounds in the books now between Dominguez. Of 10 scheduled in the welterweight division. Santiago Sommer Dominguez, Ricardo Lara, TJ DeSantis, along with the Hall of Famer James Smitty Smith. Marina Terra Event Center in beautiful San Carlos, Mexico. This is our main event of night 2 of RJJ Boxing on UFC Fight Pass. We were talking earlier about a controlled offensive output, and that's what I think you see with Sommer. He has that power. We've seen it on display in the past, but he's not forcing too much of anything. He's waiting for the opportunities to present themselves.
Well, I think what would help Sommer would be to start to establish his own jab, because I can see where Lara is doing a really nice job of nullifying a lot of Santiago's offense, and Sommer at times like to lead with his left hook or lead with his right hand. And he's getting hit with some shots here. And all of this started with the implementation of a consistent jab. And what would help now for Sommer would just be to establish his own stick and set things up himself off of his own left hand. See right there on the inside, even come in off the jab. Come in with the jab. And it's everything really, it's Lara leading with the jab right now. And if Lara gets away from that, he'll probably get himself in trouble. If he keeps it up, he'll probably be okay. Good body work there by Dominguez, but unlike the fighter we saw earlier, this guy, Lara, has his hands, his elbows in tight. He's being responsible. He's getting loose now. He's throwing some nifty combinations.
He has yet to really eat a power shot from Dominguez, but as you mentioned, he is getting more and more confident, is Lara. He's got to be aware, though, right? He can't get too loose with his shots.
No, and you can be elusive without running. You can be elusive by head movement, by upper body movement, by just a twist, a turn, a feint, a parry. There's all kinds of ways. You don't have to be, Hector Macho Camacho in there on your bicycle, so to speak. I just like this offensive attack. Lara's having a really nice round, and he's given Dominguez a lot to think about, and perhaps frustrating him a little bit.
You talked about that jab of Lara, and now utilizing the double jab, always doubling up on it, and it's finding a home more often than not.
And extremely, extremely relaxed is Lara. And that's one of the main things I like to see in a fighter is when they're relaxed. We saw a lot of young fighters early here with that hands held, and they're clenching down and almost biting down on their mouthpiece in the arms, and that just wears you out. You need to be relaxed. That comes with age and seasoning too. He's been a pro, Lara, 7 years. And see, that distance and that jab is why Dominguez was not able to land that.
On that momentum here as we head into round number 4. We are underway.
Good start by Lara in this round. He lands a jab and a right hand. Not a lot on him, but just enough to. They are scoring points.
Would love to hear what our fans are thinking all around the world. You can tweet at us at Smitty Boxing, at TJ DeSantis, of course, at UFC Fight Pass. Use the hashtag RJJBoxing.
And we only accept positive comments at Smitty Boxing.
About you, there's only positive comments. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not getting custom-made shirts over here, Smitty.
I like you more each time I work with you, TJ.
I'm learning. I'm coming around.
Good body work by both fighters there.
Yeah. Lara definitely coming alive, and so is Summer now.
Now was a nice display of a few different type. He varied the jab Lara did there, up and down with it. Kelly's an experienced fighter.
Again, the jab on display, but a right hand added to that combination by Lara a moment ago.
Shaking the hand there. I don't know if that's just a Leo Santa Cruz habit by Lara or if he did any damage to the left hand. He was shaking it there. Sometimes that's a sign you hurt it. Other times it's just a nervous twitch, a la my buddy Leo Santa Cruz.
He's still throwing the left hand, no problem.
He's feeling good about himself, Lara is right now. Very comfortable. Almost appearing that he's getting in his zone. Not worried about anything. Feels like he can. I think what it is Lara's seeing everything coming now. And again, what Summer should do is start to establish his own jab. See, he's coming in, but he's coming in with nothing.
Right.
He's coming in as a stationary target. And if he does that, Lara's going to pick him apart.
In the clinch there for a brief moment, they fight through it.
You know, he's at the point in his career where there's that dilemma of you can't feed him guys just to make him look good. You have to feed him guys to make him better. And sometimes the guys that make you better don't make you look good.
That's true. I mean, at the end of the day, a win is a win, and that's what you need. And sometimes wins aren't always as pretty as you would like them to be.
And then sometimes a fighter that that just wins but doesn't do it in sensational fashion takes him longer to get the bigger shot because he's not as sought after by networks and other entities in boxing.
Flurry of action here to end round number 4. Right hand on the bell here. This was the punch maybe on the bell right after the bell. This is from action earlier in the round.
And good action by Lara. See how comfortable he looks? Sees everything coming, creates a miss. Summer got in one shot there. There was
the confidence growing. He's out there and he's boxing. He's having a decent time. Looks very comfortable in there with the undefeated and dangerous Dominguez.
And he's leading. Like this is about the 3rd round in a row. He started out with something. This time it was a lead left hook. It's amazing what confidence can do for a fighter. Now this is where he doesn't want to be, and this was where Summer wants him to be, on the rope.
Talk about confidence growing for Dominguez. That was probably his best combination of the fight. We saw Lara initiate that clinch and hold on just a little bit, now back on the ropes.
Now here's a few moments for Dominguez to do some damage, and he did a good job of coming in with that jab, even jabbing right to the midsection. Will set up stuff, set up the hooks to the body. It'll set up the overhand rights. Just let the jab go like that. And for Summer, I would like to see him step in with it like that.
Right. See that jab again on point from Lara.
Now, for Lara, I would like to see his jab being just more of a pesky jab. I think Dominguez should continue to try to throw a
second time the rabbit punch landed at the back ahead of Lara, and you could tell the referee giving him a stern warning.
What I was saying, I think Dominguez should throw an authoritative jab, and Lara should throw the alternator's jab and throw the pesky jab, because they're different styles of fighter. There's that pesky jab, and see what it did. It backed Dominguez up, gives him something to think about, and he's not throwing anything off of that. There's a nice right hand. Snaps the head back of Lara. I don't think it hurt him, but snapped his head back.
In this round, we've seen Lara with his back against the ropes a few times. Dominguez is getting him in that uncomfortable situation. You've seen him make the most of it a few times here.
And that's where, you know, especially against a fighter like Dominguez, you don't want to be. And even if you're not getting hit solidly in terms of scoring a fight, you know, the judges always react to that stuff. Nice left hook there by Dominguez. Didn't land with the authority he would have liked it to.
Final minute here of round number 5. You know, we talked about the confidence growing over the course of this fight for Lara, but this round it seems like Dominguez is getting his game going a little bit more. Do you feel him stealing some of that momentum back?
I think that's because Lara allowed it to happen by backing up against the ropes. Now you notice now the opportunity, he's not going against the ropes. He had it right there. He was almost against it, and he kind of felt the ropes.
Right.
The great fighters feel the ropes. You don't even have to touch it. You kind of can feel them, just a sense, and you slide to the left or the right, whichever way you want to go. Against Summer, I think it's you know, better to move to your left to stay away from his left hook.
Dying moments here of round number 5. His combination there by Dominguez. And again, that jab on point for Lara.
Have him leading the fight now because of that. You see him coming in, pounding the body, and then going upstairs to the head. Powerful shots. That right hand snaps the head straight back of Lara. Again, what started all that was Dominguez coming in behind a powerful jab. Nice combination.
And as you mentioned, maybe he wasn't necessarily hurt, Lara, but the aesthetic for the judges, I mean, that was a big round in a lot of ways for Dominguez.
Absolutely.
Round 6 underway here. TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith. Appreciate you joining us live for night 2 of RJJ Boxing on UFC Fight Pass. Right hand finds a home for Summer.
There's a sweeping left hook that I've seen Summer take guys out with, but this guy, Lara's a little craftier. And he's done a good job with for the most part, he's done a good job with that DLT that I call the distance leverage, and the timing that timed that right hand pretty good. See, you can tell he's very relaxed.
Combination of the body there. Looks like Dominguez may have indicated that one of those shots landed low.
Like when these referees are constantly yapping.
You know, I like you tell them like it is.
Yeah, well, let me and you yap. They don't need to be yapping all the time unless they need to. I mean, if there's something they need to yap about, then yap.
Right.
But a lot of these refs today are just getting way overly officious. If they want my job, go for it, but I'm not trying to do their job. They have a really difficult job because their main job is to protect these fighters. By and large, I know they're all really trying to do their best.
It's one of the toughest spots to be in.
It really is.
For sure.
But they still should stop yapping so much.
You made your point, Smitty.
Yes.
I feel you.
Dominguez trying to come forward, TJ, but really not landing enough. And, you know, we back to what we talked about last night. When you score a fight, 4 criteria: clean, hard punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense. And then my 5th, who's doing more of what they want to do. And just by a hair, I think Lara is. That doesn't mean he's necessarily winning the fight on the judges' scorecards, but
another one to the back of the head, I think. Now loading up on the shots of the body is Lara.
Dominguez really needs to work on his DLT, his distance, and especially his distance, because he's not really winning the fight from the outside. He's not getting peppered or anything, but just the whole complexion of the fight, the way and as you said, the aesthetic, it just looks better for Dominguez, the puncher, when he's on the inside banging away. Lara's the guy that wants to be on the outside and try to box his way to a victory here in this main event. And right now he's doing it.
Final 10 seconds here.
Lara's, flicking shots and less powerful shots.
And that goes back to the idea that it's a quality over quantity, and that quality, I think, can be perceived a variety of different ways.
Or misconceived.
100%.
Yeah, depending on what you like. That's why this is such at its highest level.
Stop.
This sport is so subjective.
Sube los golpes. Al próximo te voy a bajar un poco.
That shot
Tiempo.
subjectively low, according to Santiago Dominguez.
Wow, I didn't see a low blow there. Maybe I missed it.
I didn't see it really either, but he called it to the ref, and the ref
Señores, está saliendo de
said, yeah.
control las faltas.
Maybe
Al
these
próximo
earlier
que siga
low
metiendo
blows have
golpes en
gotten
la
in the
nuca o
heads of
golpes
the
bajos, le voy a
referees
bajar un
here.
punto.
I didn't see
Se
it.
acabó las faltas.
Something's going around a little bit tonight here, I think.
Encuentro. Box.
And I think Lara's selling a little bit of this stuff by, complaining. Because I haven't seen, Summer throw anything egregiously low.
Right. We've talked about the demeanor of Lara earlier in the fight. His confidence definitely has grown over the course of it. What do you think about his demeanor now here in round number 7?
Of Lara?
Yeah, he's a bit more. I think he's playing Dominguez's game a bit more than he had earlier in the fight. But
I just think as we get into the later rounds and he's and the adrenaline's flowing and it's I don't think he's been hit or clipped with a solid shot. I actually think he is fighting as good as he can. And that is a beautiful combination by Lara. I mean, I think he and his trainers should be, and his fans watching on UFC Fight Pass should be very pleased, because I don't think he can fight better. This fight's really close. It could be either way. I have it 1 point either way. There's that head snapping back again that you mentioned too, that probably gives the impression that Dominguez is winning the round, when up until that point it was really Lara doing more of what he wants to do. See how the rest of the round goes. But I'd be very happy with his performance if I were him or anybody associated with him,
As you mentioned, Lara believed that they would have to outbox Dominguez and be tactical and strategic, and he's done that through the course of the better part of 7 rounds.
Yes, and doing it in this round. Again, other than that one really nice combination by Dominguez, that flashy shot, it's been more of that. Kind of Lara stealing the rounds, if you will, in a subtle way.
Right. The question is it too subtle?
Great point.
So much up for conjecture when it comes to scoring close rounds in boxing. Final 30 seconds left here in round number 7.
Now here is where these last 25 seconds, if I were Dominguez, and maybe his corner would yell out, like Sugar Ray Leonard's corner used to do, and Ali's got 30 seconds left, and you try to steal the round.
Right.
But right now, they see that this is Lara stealing it.
Right.
With those 4, 5, 6, 7 jabs, 8, 9, 10. Not all of them landed,
sure,
but that did.
But it's that aesthetic, it's a different sort of aesthetic from, Lara, who's had his, head snap back.
Of Lara, the D, the draw. Nobody's dominating this fight, though.
Round number 8 underway, our main event. Santiago Summer Dominguez, Ricardo Lara. This combination uppercut lands for Lara.
Once again, it's Lara taking the lead early in the round. He's kind of beginning the rounds with more ammo firing and ending the rounds with more stuff going on, busier. Dominguez threw the left hook, but it was just one. Lara patient on the outside, trying to set up the jab. And he's in Dominguez's head, because Dominguez doesn't know what type of jab it's going to be, and thus opens up a body shot. There's a nice right hand over the top by Dominguez, but not a lot on it.
How frustrated do you think Summer is at this point? A few times we've seen him hit his gloves together and, show some signs of frustration.
Well, when you kind of get used to guys, I using the term, this is just a term, cooperating with your power. And this guy, Lara, is not cooperating, but this is the type of fight that he needs. Again, is it the kind of fight that he and his camp want?
Right.
I think what he needs to do, and when you swing and miss like that, that means you're really getting frustrated and outboxed. Good angles by Lara.
Just past the halfway point here of round number 8.
those wild swings by Dominguez will take a lot out of him, and I know there's only a few rounds left, but these are the key rounds.
Hey! Stop, no fuera, tire. Box.
Again, doubling up on that jab is Lara, very controlled and comfortable in this fight.
Summers' mouth is open. I think he's a little tired, a little fatigued.
You know, we talk about frustration. That can be taxing on your cardio as well if you get frustrated and start pushing a little bit too more. Do you feel that maybe is the case here with Dominguez?
I just think it's the style. Oh, yeah, that was the best right hand of the fight by Lara. He landed a check hook earlier, and that's the kind of stuff. And you see the face of Dominguez starting to swell up.
Definitely can see the damage being worn by Dominguez, and now Lara coming alive, working some shots to the body and to the head, covering up. Dominguez maybe in some serious trouble.
Yeah, he got hurt with a body shot, real bad.
10 seconds left in the round. Yes. Can Dominguez survive? The action slows as they enter the clinch, back at space. Wow.
Back to the body. I mean, I would load up on him. There's a left hook to the head. I'd go right back down. And again, even when you block body shots, it still hurts. Doesn't go away, especially if you end up cracking a rib or something like that.
Dominguez moving forward here to start this round, but not throwing a lot, just moving forward.
Right now, this fight is really going the way Lara wants it to go. Don't know how the judges have it, but and it's really close on my card. But everything, Summers just like a stationary target. He looks like he's befuddled and confused and tired.
And potentially hurt. We'll see.
He was hurt in the last round, that's for sure. I don't know if he's recovered from that.
Right.
And this is where Lara's probably not the offensive juggernaut that's going to go for it, but I would at least try to go back to that body if I were Lara. And how you can set up that hook to the body is off the jab. Throw a little combination and then touch the head with the jab and go right back to the body, a la Mickey Ward. There's a nice double hook by Lara. He's stealing them with those the shots. It's like Summer can't see him coming.
And the output here by Dominguez has slowed. Again, he's moving forward, but not throwing with the volume that he has previously in the bout.
It's like me with trigonometry. I just didn't have any answers. You know, when they first put trigonometry in front of me, I had no answer. I just couldn't figure it out. And right now, I guess Lara is Dominguez's I can't even say it.
No kidding. Dominguez trying to find an answer of his own here, though. But again, you can just tell the demeanor, composure, posture of Lara. He's on point.
Summer tried to land a few of his own body shots there, but he's just waiting. You can just see that he's been hit with so many jabs. I'll use the line that I used last night. It's like he's been fed a lot of tequilas, you know, and he's a little loose. There's a nice combination, not hard by Lara, but enough. And there's a good angle, good turn. Right when Dominguez is setting to throw a shot, Lara spins off to the side. Never used trigonometry in a fight before. I think that's my first one. I
don't even know how you would use trigonometry otherwise, to be honest with you.
Yes, I'm a professor of pugilism. Another good round for Lara.
100%. Final 10 seconds here of this ninth round.
Stop. Stop. Escúchame. A la próxima te voy a
I don't care who you are, after 9 rounds of boxing, you're going to feel that fatigue, but the momentum may be on the side of Ricardo Lara, and we'll see if Dominguez changes his output here in this final round.
I have Lara ahead by 2 points, so on my card, Dominguez would need a knockdown to even things up. Again, that's my card. It's a big, they're starting off in a good fashion.
We know Dominguez is capable
¡Stop!
of
¡Stop!
unleashing his power. We'll see if he can call upon it now in this final round.
¡Van a pelear! ¡Box!
And I think Lara should act as though
¡Stop! ¡Stop!
he's behind.
Amarrar, señores, peleen. Vamos.
Should not just go out there and play safety first.
¡Stop!
You never know how the judges have it, and the last thing you want to do is go back to your hotel room taking a loss when you could have done more in that final round.
Or go back to that pregnant wife when you're expecting your first child.
Right.
She might be irritable to begin with, so he's got a chance at, well, again, on my card he does. Summer's having a good round so far, though. Sensing, I think, that he's in trouble. Another good left hook by
Señores, ¿van a pelear o terminamos la
Dominguez.
pelea antes de tiempo? ¿Van a pelear o terminamos la pelea antes de tiempo? Vamos, box.
Summer has recovered from that body shot because he's really letting his hands go.
Trying to find the body multiple times, right hand to the head there of Lara by Dominguez. The building getting loud as the offense is turning up here inside the Marina Terra Event Center for the native of Obregon, Santiago Dominguez, undefeated, 23-0. Final 70 seconds here of this fight.
Let's see if he can finish strong. He spent a lot of energy, Summer did, the first couple of minutes of this final round.
Referee having a hard time getting these two men back at space.
Big right hand landed by Dominguez, but didn't have the power to hurt Lara this late in the fight. Let's see who, if anybody's going to try to steal these last 40 seconds.
It's been a close fight with both fighters having some success. Timeout here.
Cuidado con la cabeza. Los dos, cuidado con la cabeza. Box.
Clash of heads. Final moments of this fight. Jalisco's Ricardo Lara trying to upset the undefeated Santiago Dominguez. These men are getting after it in the final moments here, round number 10.
Suéltalo, suéltalo, stop. Fuera, tiren. Box. Stop.
After going all 10 rounds here at the Marina Terra Hotel and Spa, San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico, we go to the scorecards. Judge Cota scored the bout 96-95 in favor of Dominguez. Judge Orona, 96-94 in favor of Lara. And Judge Drew scores it 96-95 in favor of the winner by way of split decision. De Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, Santiago Dominguez.
Well, tonight the sun shines on Summer. Santiago Dominguez getting his hand raised after a hard 10-round fight with Ricardo Lara. Maybe not exactly in the manner that Dominguez wanted it to be, but a win is a win, and that O is firmly intact. Santiago Dominguez officially in the books here, as we saw Santiago Dominguez be headed your way tomorrow night. Here's some more action from our main event. Santiago Dominguez and Ricardo Lara definitely went to war over the course of 10 rounds, both men having their moments, and Dominguez able to do enough. May have been, you know, a shot like that that put the judges on his side, that aesthetic of snapping the head back of Lara. He was able to leave an impression with the judges, and they signed with him via split decision. Still undefeated is the son of Ciudad Obregón, Santiago Summer Dominguez. But credit to Jalisco's Ricardo Lara for putting on a show over the course of 10 rounds.